The reason I chose to implement VR headsets in language arts classrooms is because, for example, with the Raven, I can tell students that Poe was born in 1809 and died in 1849 under mysterious circumstances. I can tell them that he wrote the poem The Raven in 1845 and that he made only $9 for it, even though now it is one of the most popular, probably the best known poem in the entire world. I can explain the complicated rhyme scheme, internal and external, and all the other literary devices that he used. The hardest part, though, is to get them to understand the grief that the narrator of the poem is expressing. And of course, the narrator is not Poe. Poe is the poet, but he is not the narrator. That's a different person entirely who is grieving for his lost Lenore. With the use of a VR headset, students would be allowed to enter into the chamber and witness the decline of the narrator. They could see how gaunt and overwrought he is from lack of sleep and lack of food, how agitated he is to the point of not being able to sleep because he hasn't slept in so long. There's a level of grief that students wouldn't understand. It wouldn't be meant to be frightening. It would be intended as a way to immerse into the mindset of the narrator. The silken satin, certain rustling of each purple curtain. It sounds like a nice image, but what does it mean as far as how would that affect a person who is agitated and under deep duress? Is the Raven actually there? That's always a question. If the student were in the chamber, he or she would be able to see that there indeed was no Raven, not at all. I could say, be that word or sign of parting bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of the lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Take thy form from off my door. Take thy beak from out my heart and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the Raven, nevermore. That still does not convey the kind of grief that the narrator feels. If a student were immersed in a virtual reality where he could see that this man truly believes there is a raven on the pallid bust of Pallas just above his chamber door, then the student would realize this guy's nuts. And it would make a big difference in the perception of the poem. There is no kissing Lenore ever again. She is gone. Will he ever see her again? Who knows? Who knows what's on the other side? But if this man could die right now to get to her, that's what he would do. That's important. That's what the kid needs to see. And that's the kind of experience that VR would provide.